Guru Nation, this is for the clinical research sites that are out there, but also possibly you CRAs out there or people wanting to be CRAs. Today, we had a site initiation visit at my clinic, and it's a very good study, but it's also a complex study, which most of them are becoming now more and more complex. It required a slight addendum to my SOP, which are standard operating procedures, and I wanted to talk to you about not so much what SOPs are, because they're just what the name implies, standard operating procedures for your research site, but how to amend new SOPs when you realize that they are requested for a particular project. And it's important to keep in mind this was a site initiation visit, so we already have the study. The question now is, when can we start screening? And that's what I found out. That's one of your jobs as a site owner, is to figure out, hey, what's going on? What's preventing us from bringing in patients, because that's what brings in the revenue for the sites. And in this case, there were a few things, but one of them that I could control today, and I did take care of it today, was amending the SOP. So in this particular case, we needed an SOP for how we transport supplies to and lab samples to satellite sites. So I'm not going to get into the details of this protocol, but there's a satellite site involved, and it requires us to transport supplies and lab samples to satellite sites. And this is why you've probably heard me say before, your SOPs are living, breathing documents. These are not things that you create one time and then forget about, right? As technology changes, as industry best practices evolve, which in my brief 13 years of doing this, we've revised our SOPs. We now have close to 50 sections. I just added another one today. So it was a quick 2-paragraph section that I added. We already had a section on transporting investigational product, so it was very simple for me to create this. But the point is, it was requested of me today. I did it today, not because I'm cool or I'm special, but because I'm a business person, and in order for us to start screening patients, we needed to get this done, amongst a few other things. So I guess the message of this video is, SOPs are not just a document that you can find online or buy from someone or receive from somebody and then forget about. Yes, you can. There are templates. We give our clients templates, but we tell them you have to adapt these SOPs for your site and what works for you, because you've got to remain compliant with your SOPs, because if you're not compliant with your SOPs, that's a big audit finding. During sponsor audits, during FDA audits, it's a big one. So you've got to amend your SOPs as you see fit, as is required of new studies, as industry best practices change, and you've got to pay attention to make sure that your staff is actually trained on the SOP and then implementing it properly. So that's my 4 minutes on SOPs.